that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned in to a talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get healthy, get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Friday at primetime, live time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in California. Broadcasting with my CNBC NBC station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, covering 5 million in Southern California and hundreds of millions everywhere else as it is live streaming. Doug, do you mind muting your mic just a bit? And when okay, you have to turn something off because I'm coming through your broadcast too. Okay, we just we are, Doug, I hear everything you're saying and you're, Doug, there we go. I have the operation of the mic. So let's see. This is the 459th consecutive week that I have been on the air, splattering more hope and happiness, because that's what this show is about. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kardashian talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So if you've missed any of my past shows, from Fran Drescher talking about how to reduce cancer, to Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver, to Layla Ali, to New York Times bestsellers, let's see, Dr. John Gray, Neil Donald Walsh, Oprah 100 lister, Michael Bernard Beckwith, you name it, I have covered it for your positivity. Yes, I am hashtag positively opinionated. And especially now during this fluxed up time, we want to balance out all of the very easy to access negativity. So thank you for tuning in for this hour. I apologize for Angela. Thank you for alerting me. I'm just getting used to this new board here. And I forgot one kind of important button called Go Live. So I apologize, but we are back and we have a great show for you. And because it is a tribute show, it is to my beloved friend who just passed on January 30th. You know her as Marianne from Gilligan's Island, and I know her as an amazing, beautiful, inside and out woman. I just got the text from her manager, and I had to keep it a secret. So I did, until he said I could talk about it. Because she had a private ceremony among sunshine, fresh fallen snow, nature, coyotes, and geese. Dawn was laid to rest by her mother today, and she loved her mother, and we'll hear about her mom in some of the clips. It was very beautiful. So it was in Reno, and we didn't want it to be this gigantic thing. So it was private as she wished, and now she's buried beside her mom. So another deep breath in and just releasing peace and comfort to all those who loved her, who are saddened by her loss, but knowing that she, who died of COVID complications, along with the 400,000 people, along with two other dear friends of mine, Bernie Dorman and Frank Shankwitz, co-founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation, just a couple days ago. We know where they are. They're not gone. They're on the other side. And I'm just grateful that I get a chance to do this tribute show with you, which kind of was a little weird. I didn't know that the service was going to be exactly an hour before this broadcast. So that is, that's the way my life works. And I'm grateful that I can bring you some clips from 5 episodes, 5 different shows that I did with Dawn. And instead of talking at you and just showing clips, I thought I would bring a friend on who I just was on TV on his show called Capistrano Live. His name is Doug Starks, and he's going to join me right now. Good. Add to stream. Add to stream. And wait for it. All right.
Hi.
Show, Doug.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So in 2 minutes, describe who you are so that we can know who's talking to me and who's on my show today.
Right on. 2 minutes to be wonderful. I'm Doug Starks. I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. I'm a singer. I'm a Las Vegas Strip veteran. I played Sammy Davis Jr. in The Rat Pack is Back in Las Vegas for over a decade. Stand-up comedian, toured with the artists like the likes of Smokey Robinson, Julio Iglesias, Natalie Cole, B.B. King, Ray Charles. I'm a writer, former writer for the Tom Joyner Morning Show, which was a 25-year landmark on syndicated radio, and I'm a friend of Dr. Marissa, and this is the Radio Walk of Fame, being right here in this chair. So I love it being here.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. And do you have two devices on?
I do not. I do not.
Where the thing is coming from. So, but anyways, I will just continue on. And I wanted to introduce you to my beloved friend, Marianne, through her clips that she came on my show. She's the only person who's come on 5 different times.
Wow.
So she just, and it wasn't, I mean, you can ask your manager, she just loved, when am I coming on next? And what am I going to say? You're coming next week whenever you're in town. So that's what is happening. And let's do this. And here's the chat. And we can, there's the comment. I don't know how to get Angela's comment off of my frame, but it's like, where is the show? The show's right here. But what we're going to start with is, this is not the first time that she was on, but I thought it was a good show of the things that she continues to do. So
being
here we
Marianne on Gilligan's Island, and she's hasn't retired at all. You're not going to believe how young she is, and maybe she'll let me say exactly the number later.
Nope.
Every time we text, I think one of the best things about the show is that I actually get to create a friendship with some of my guests, and I just love her very much. She invites me up for poker, and she is texting me from everywhere, from Ohio, from New York. She's traveling around on the stage doing things on and off Broadway, like Love Letters, Steel Magnolias, another show called Love, Loss, and What I Wore. She has just completed a web series, Life Interrupted, which won the award for Best Actress, Best Ensemble, Best Original Song. She's been the spokesperson for We Network, and a lot of people have seen that and have commented and told me about it, which I already knew. And then as well, she got an award from the Elephant Sanctuary Trumpeting Award for her effort to support it, founded in 1955, and it's one of the nation's largest natural habitat refuge, specifically designed for African and Asian elephants. So she is not stopping anytime soon. The wildly successful show of Gilligan's Island, which is like an iconic show. Please welcome back to my studio, beautiful inside and out, Dawn Wells.
I'm so glad to see you. It's been a little while, hasn't it? Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. It is so fun to have you. And just for those people who have not seen her 5 other appearances here, you need to go on YouTube to find them. But just so people know the little bit of trivia around Gilligan's Island, I love to ask people, how many years do you think that show was actually on? It had so much influence. And people will say like 8, 10, 15. And I say,
well, we were on the air 3 years, and that's all. But last year we had our 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
I was 2. They dressed me up as a grown-up and let me play Marianne. You don't know where time goes. But wherever I go, it's the fathers introducing it to their children. So it's 2 or 3 generations that you are happy your kids are watching it. It's
yes.
a lot of stuff you don't want them to see.
Correct.
And it's 7 people trying to get along. And isn't that what the world is trying to do now?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. And all have now left to the other side. Except
Ginger
you
and I are the only ones
Ginger.
left. Yeah.
And that debate still goes on. And
Yeah, it
and
does.
again, I would say it's 98 out of 100. You win the. I always like Marianne better, but hopefully Ginger's not listening.
Well,
But-
and I think Ginger was a little unattainable. She was glamorous and beautiful. Marianne would have been your sister, your best friend, gone fishing with you. It's just a different relationship. I
But you
think.
were cute too. People mentioned the shorts and Jarvis is nodding his head and the legs.
And I have them. They're in a drawer. I can't believe who wore them. And what did I wear underneath them? I don't know that either.
I'll have to go back and look a little closely,
Yes, I
or
guess so.
not.
Shame on you.
I know. Sorry. So what was your favorite episode and why?
I think you can't really pick one, but I think the favorites were the dream sequences, and you'd have guest stars, Phil Silver, and would people, Don Rickles. Don Rickles came on, and Sherwood Schwartz, our producer, said, "We're only going to hire him for 4 days because you can't laugh for 5, because he keeps you laughing at all times." No, it was fun having other people, but the plots were so ridiculous. We all laughed. Here we are, surfed on and surfed off, and nobody knew where we were. But it's worldwide.
Yeah.
Worldwide, you don't have to understand the English language.
Right.
You're not dated because there's no clothes or cars to tell you
Right.
when it was filmed. So
Right.
it has survived 50
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, on that island.
Uh-huh.
And you actually have a show now that's got the best title. It's called Still on That Freakin' Island.
Yes, I don't know what you call those, web series or something. You'll see me on the beach with a professor's shirt and a few gingham patches, and I'm drinking coconuts with rum. And a young man finds me and comes on shore, and it's very, very funny. Now you can do that. You can all have your own creative stuff. 20 years ago, you had to have a studio behind you and all that. It's really great.
It is great. People can use their skill as creative output, and anybody can do it.
We only had 3 networks. I mean, now how many channels are there?
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for
So
everybody.
what's your secret? You definitely drink from the fountain of youth.
Oh, well, it's all paint. I don't know. I think it's your soul. I think it's your soul. I think
Yes.
if you think young, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I don't have a lot of worries. I've lost my mother. I don't have children to worry about grandchildren. Wish I did.
All right. What did you think of that?
Wow, you know what? I look at her eyes, and there is so much energy and kindness in her eyes, and I like that. She was a veteran of show business, and she still seemed to have that enthusiasm about the next thing. I love that. No matter how long you're here, you got to be enthused about today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to go see a little bit more of her beauty secrets.
Well, I wouldn't have been able to do
Can
that.
I ask how young you are?
I'm 75.
It's amazing. This is amazing.
Well,
I want to look as
well,
good
you
as
look
you
beautiful.
do.
I have no idea how old you are.
I'm
but-
ageless.
Well, I am
So-
too. I mean, it is in your head.
It is.
and I'm optimistic. I
That's
look
what-
forward for something tomorrow. I'm very happy, and
Yes.
I'm very positive.
Yes.
Do you have children?
I have 2 beautiful girls, 17 and 15.
Well, so
Yeah.
you could be a grandmother at some point.
I could be. I
Yeah.
could
Well,
be.
see, I'm not. I don't even have children, so no one's going to be
didn't
calling
know
me
that.
grandma, which is also something here. Grandma. We don't let our hair go gray anymore,
Right.
like grandmas used to.
Right.
People are beautiful, still in their 70s and 80s. I just had lunch with Carol Channing and just blew me away.
I love her.
Oh my gosh, and sharp
Isn't
as a
she-
tack and
she's
funny.
What is she?
93?
93. I met her.
Wow.
Yes. So
Wow.
Dawn actually passed at the age of 82. The first
Wow.
time she came on my show, she was 85 or 87. So 5 times since the first time. And a shout out to Harlan and Leonard, her manager. Just, I was so blessed by meeting this amazing woman who came to the show. And she is absolutely convinced that the way to stay young is through a positive attitude. So you know me, that's right up my alley, and your alley
Definitely.
for show as well. Let's see what she says about happiness.
So
Marianne do.
yes. So how happy should we be? I mean, I say 88% because 8 is a magic number in Chinese. It's a homonym
it?
for good fortune. That's why I say 88%. So are you happy all the time, or is there a time that you need to have contrast?
Well, I guess in this business, there's always a contrast because you're always disappointed when you're up for something and you don't get it, or you try so hard or you don't get it, or something like that. But I am really happy most of the time. I'm impatient. That's my big flaw. I'm impatient with myself. I'm impatient. I want to get it done and get it done now, kind of thing. But I'm mostly happy. I mean, I was ill not long ago, but I was in the hospital for a few days, and I would think, oh, this is interesting. Is this how this works? And whether, rather than getting into, I wonder if I'm going to catch something from somebody in the bed next to me or something. I'm a positive person, but my mother was very much a worrier, and I think maybe I had to counteract that.
Right.
So the beautiful thing is she died in her sleep, even though she died of complications, not on a ventilator, not in a hospital. So I just wanted to share that now that I have the okay to share the stuff that has been a little more private. But I absolutely am grateful to have had her in my life. As you can see, she's one heck of a woman. So let's see, what else should I show? Did you watch the show Gilligan's Island?
Oh my God. Not only did I watch the show, I know things about the show. Like I know what Skipper's name was on the show. I know what the professor's name was on the Skipper's name was Jonas Grumby.
Wow, you do?
Yeah, so the actor was Alan Hale, but Jonas Grumby was his name. And the professor's name was Roy Hinckley. And, I was into the show. I loved it.
I think I have a little bit for talking about the professor when we talk about sex a little bit later. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what you are watching and listening to today, my name's Dr. Marissa. I am the host of Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa every Friday now on my CNBC NBC channel, KCAA at 3 p.m. drive time, prime time. So that's what you're tuned into, streaming directly into my YouTube channel, the Facebook, and KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. And today's a very special day. Don Wells was just laid to rest in Reno, literally just laid to rest. I had the idea for this tribute show before I even found out about the timing. So I think it's very apropos that I celebrate her life, and I wanted to share that with you. And I brought Doug on to be my shell, which is a wonderful thing. So here we go. Here's a little bit more. Here's some more trivia. See if you knew any of this, Doug.
Other questions. Okay. My bank manager wanted to know, were pranks?
Yeah, where my money went? Is that what he wants to know? Yeah. No residuals. We can talk about that.
She wants to know, were there pranks played on set, and if so, which was the best one? How did you guys?
I really don't think there were any pranks. When I stop and think about it, I don't think anybody was. Bob had to work real hard. He'd had all that physical comedy, falling down holes and out of trees and all of that.
Okay.
Bacchus
that's Gilligan.
That's Gilligan. And the Howells were witty.
Mm-hmm. Were they really like their character, or were they really acting?
Mrs. Howell was very Mrs. Howell.
Really?
Natalie Schaefer was very much so. And Jim was too. Mm-hmm. Jim was very much, they're very good casting in this whole show, I thought. I think we were all very much like our roles, with the exception of Bob.
With the exception of
Gilligan.
Why?
Well, Gilligan was very intellectual, quiet, quite private, very subtle sense of humor, not a goofball at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he was into no pesticides long before, great with kids. That's why I think there was something inside of him that children identified with. He was very different than his character. The rest of us were pretty much the same, I think.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And then were there some easier to work with than others?
I don't think there was any. I never, excuse me, I never saw any temper. I never saw any disagreement with directors or anything.
Did you get along with Ginger?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We didn't have a whole lot of scenes together, little bits and pieces, but yeah, I didn't see any discord at all. The hours were long, and the physical part that Bob had to do was tough. The scripts were silly, surf on and surf off. And then the guest stars were fun, of course. We had Don Rickles and Zsa Zsa Gabor and Kurt Russell, who was 12 at the time. I was only 12 at the time. Yeah, it was a very odd show, but it's never been off the air since 1964.
Yeah, and people are always amazed, and I feel very smart when I ask them, how long do you think it ran? And people say 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and I go, nope. Any conflict on the show?
No,
No,
I never saw anything like
really,
that.
not because people pit you and Ginger,
Ginger together,
all
always.
the time.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, but you're good.
We're good.
She-
I mean, we're
yeah.
not the best of friends. We don't kind of move in the same circles, but I was in awe. She was a movie star. You know, she got us our false eyelashes from New York, and they were mink way back then. Mink is like you were looking through a mink coat.
Yeah,
Yeah. She was very kind of quiet and to herself, but I never saw any tempers or refusing to do anything like that.
Yeah, because that's the only. Apparently, she's the only one that said she really didn't enjoy doing the show because it typecast her. So.
I mean, she could go. I did Eleanor of Aquitaine from. Not Night of the Iguana. What play am I in? I mean, I've broken that mold on purpose, and she was on Broadway doing things.
Right. Yeah.
She just didn't want to be identified with it.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I'm glad that you. Yeah. So you have done on Gilligan's Island, and there's a 26-year-old at Starbucks who wants your number.
Did you give it to him?
No, I didn't have your permission.
Thank you very much.
But he says that to tell you that you have the best legs of anyone on TV, and that your legs span across the ages. So the fact that he's 26, doesn't.
There's not many ages to span. They only start showing their eggs at age 13. He's only had a few years of experience. How very sweet, though. I can't go anywhere in the world. Marianne was loved.
Oh,
she really was.
Yes. So I've been promoting you, which I love doing, and because every time I say I'm having Marianne on my show, people go, "Oh, I love Marianne." I loved her so much more than Ginger.
And
I mean,
why?
9
when
out
you
of
stop and
10
think about it.
people.
Why?
Let's talk about it. I don't know why. Why do you think that people like? Oh wait, I'll give you one answer. The co-pilot on my it was U.S. Airways said that it was because you were down to earth, and then the pilot on the other way said that he thought he would break Ginger.
Break her? What
break her, like she's too fragile. So
that's
there's
an
two
interesting
answers.
Interpretation of Ginger.
So why do you think?
Because
people
she'd have
liked
been your
you
best
more?
friend. Because she'd been your best friend, and they put me in short shorts. Well, I mean, if she were just in the gingham dress the whole time, I think it started with the 12 and 13, 14-year-old boys when they start realizing that there are girls out there, that she would have been the girl you take into the prom.
Yeah.
And then the little short shorts sort of titillated the 19 and 20-year-olds. It was a very smart thing of Mr. Schwartz, I think.
Did you have a problem with it when they first asked you to put those on?
No, because I was always worried about my weight. I had a problem about what am I going to look like in them. And they weren't Daisy Dukes. It was before Daisy Dukes. But I designed them with the wardrobe department because, speaking of somebody saying I have nice legs, I'm short. I don't have legs as long as Tina's are. And we had to cover my navel. Morality didn't let you show your navel. The censors wouldn't let you. So I put a little curve at the top of my navel. And then I dipped the shorts down on the side, my waistband, so that my torso looked longer, and then I took the end of the shorts, the cuffs of the shorts, and tipped them up on the side so my legs would look longer, and then I used a very soft denim, so we had darts and it fits your body. I think I'm bringing them out next summer. Everybody's wearing shorts now. I mean, I'm serious about it. Now everybody's wearing shorts.
Yes.
But you couldn't even show your navel then.
Right. I remember reading somewhere, it wasn't that long ago, where the camera wasn't allowed in the bathroom. And now look at all that's on the.
Well, and I know, and they're nude, and you've got nude pictures on buses as they go by, and the world has changed. When Marianne was dropped into the island, birth control was not invented. So that's what my book's about. What would she do now? What would Marianne do now? She was a moral compass, I think. So if she were a mom, where would she be?
Where would she be?
Well, I had a big debate about would she go back to Kansas? Would she be PTA president maybe? Would she run for mayor maybe? She would marry. Would she have just one child? Would she be a businesswoman? I went through this quite a bit. At one point I thought, let's say, would she be Sarah Palin or Hillary Clinton? I thought, no, let's not get into that. I think she'd be productive at something. I think something that she liked to do. I think she was smart. I think she'd have had a family. Not necessarily necessary, though. I think she was her own person. And I think she shared who she was with other people. And I think that's what's wrong with the world today. A lot of that. It's all me, 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 me.
Right.
She was always trying to help somebody. Mr. Howell would be nice to Mrs. Howell. And she was cheerful. She wasn't jealous of Ginger. There's more depth there than you think. In a silly little show like that there was a lot there, I think.
Right. Well, it was a beloved show.
Wow.
Right? Oh.
It was interesting that show was on before there was birth control. And then it's talking about where would Marianne be now? She'd probably be still on that island with more kids than you could fit on a lifeboat. Wow.
It's so interesting, and how that show was only 3 seasons, and yet it's, you know, everybody knows what Gilligan's Island is. Everybody,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so many people, you know, were so sad that day when she passed, and then the word came out. But anyways, we are celebrating her life and all the beautiful parts of it, and we're going to go right now to thank one of the sponsors of this show. Thank you so much, Capistrano Mazda, and ignore the beginning part of it.
Dr. Marissa here, ready to... Sorry. Dr. Marissa here, ready to drive a car that was designed with you in mind? Using patented technology, Mazda is focused on creating a human-centric vehicle, and Capistrano Mazda is ready to put you in the driver's seat. Family-owned and operated, Capistrano Mazda gives you a mileage guarantee. When you buy your new Mazda, you become part of their family. So visit capomazda.com today like I did, and now I can't stop smiling with my fabulous new Mazda MX-5 convertible Miata.
And thank you so much, Capistrano Mazda, for supporting this show. If you'd like to be a like-minded, love-hearted supporter and have your product or service for very affordable rates on this show that has been over 8 years and won the 2016 Podcast of the Year Top 10 in Health Award and the Cover 2019 Award, then I would love to have you on board with me. And since we are not going to have too much time, and I thought it would be fun, I asked her to come on for my special series that was about sex, and this is what she said.
A special treat. We brought her back because she did so amazingly well with me. We're like little twins now, and I love her, and she says that she wanted to come back. So we have the beautiful, the talented, the amazing Dawn Wells from Gilligan's Island, Marianne. And today we're going to have a little fun on the air because we're not going to talk about Gilligan's Island so much this time. We are going to talk about sex.
Can we talk about sex?
Yes,
in
baby.
front of all these people? My mother would be so proud.
Yeah, I talk about, you know, people go, what's wrong? Why are you talking about sex on the air now? And just a little background. Do you know that up to 80% of women in a few studies fake orgasms? And they, even now. So sex, I wanted to talk about sex and pleasure. And the other reason is because many young women and older women, and myself included, when I take my clothes off, I don't go, woo, I go, ugh. And and this whole thing around body image and how we look and how comfortable we are. And nobody talks about the light side of sex. Right? It's sexual abuse or pornography or all of the very dark parts of sex. And so I said, you know what? I want to talk about the upside or the light side or the fun side. And I'm determined to make pleasure, which is one of the gifts of life.
It's important.
Okay.
It's important to let it slide by and have nothing but negativity.
Slide
by.
We're talking about lube. Right. No, and it's okay, you know.
Oh.
Wow.
wait, we got to follow that up.
How many college students have been in a friends with benefits relationship where there's no
Percentage?
commitment? Mm-hmm. What percentage of college students?
12.
2/3.
2/3?
2/3 of college students have been in friends with benefits relationships, citing the lack of commitment required as the main advantage to such an arrangement. More than half of those who had sex with a friend said they had engaged in all forms of sex. 22.7% said they had intercourse only, while 8% said they did everything but have intercourse. And this is from Wayne State University and Michigan State University.
Did they say was it a pleasure? Did they regret
it? Was a pleasure.
They didn't regret that they did that.
They didn't.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a graduate of a women's college, and I was on campus not very long ago. And we have male students. We have a percentage of male students in the theater and arts and whatever. And one of the young men house sat for me for a while. And he's one of 7 boys. And I said, well, Alex, what's it like going to school with a bunch of girls? He said, well, what's it like? I said, is there sex? He said, not on your life. I said, what? 14 boys and 2,500 women? Don't you go to bed with? He said, no. The minute you do, they'd talk about you. How good was he? What shape was he? Blah, blah, blah. And he said, then after that, if it wasn't good, you're put down for the rest of your life. I went, that's a very interesting observation. We think the men talk all about it. He said, no, no.
Right. That's funny.
And I used to do every second or every last week of the month sexual healing with Dr. Marissa because I was determined to make pleasure a G-rated topic, and that's why. And there's another clip that I'm thinking is a little too racy. It's about size and all of that. So if you want to hear that part, you're going to have to go to my YouTube channel and watch that particular episode.
I'm going there now.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's interesting. 70% of college students have friends with benefit sexual relationships.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going back to school.
All right. Here's some more of Marianne.
What would you say to listeners who think that they're too old to do anything?
If you can get up and move around, if you can talk and if you can hear, and if you can see.
Right.
No, I don't think you're ever too old for something.
Right.
I think you have to. I've kind of gone with the age bracket I am, you know. I did Lion in Winter last summer, and I thought, oh boy, to be able to do that 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Can I ask how young you are?
I'm 75.
It's amazing. This is amazing.
Well,
I want to look as good
well, you
as
look
you
beautiful.
do.
I have no idea how old you are.
I'm
but-
ageless.
Well, I am too. I mean, you know, it is in your head.
It is.
And I'm optimistic. I
That's
look
right.
forward for something tomorrow. I'm very happy, and
Yes.
I'm very positive.
Yes.
Do you have children?
I have 2 beautiful girls, 17 and 15.
Well, so you could be a grandmother at some point.
I could be. I
Yeah.
could
Well,
be.
see, I'm not. I don't even have children, so no one's going to be calling me grandma, which is also something here. Grandma. We don't let our hair go gray anymore,
Right.
like grandmas used to.
Right.
People are beautiful, still in their 70s and 80s. I just had lunch with Carol Channing and just blew me away.
I love her.
Oh my gosh, and sharp
Isn't
as
she,
a tack and
she's
funny.
What is she, 90?
93.
93. I met her. I was a speaker at the California Women's Conference. Actually, I'm on the board. And
Oh, wow.
one of the highlights of the conference was I met her, and she looked at me and she smiled and she says, "You're beautiful." And I went, "Ma!"
Isn't she
love
lovely?
Her. She doesn't do radio. I've been trying. Harlan,
doesn't.
I want,
I
she
know.
won't do it. But I just, that's the wisdom and the grace with which I would like to move through life, the way she has.
Well, you are
And,
moving through it now, and you have
thank
children,
you.
which makes a difference too. You'll
Yeah.
like that book.
Yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
It talks to me. What do you tell your 15-year-old?
Well, let's talk.
But I don't mean to
about
get
that.
back to the book, but I think
Yeah.
that's, I have.
No.
I'm not leaving any. When I go, I'm gone.
Yeah,
You know,
but
I don't
but
have
no,
any
you've left.
siblings.
You're leaving like no siblings either.
Well, I had my father and stepmother adopted 2 children, and my brother is gone now, and my sister. I call her my sister, of course, but I don't have any. Really, any blood
but are you
relatives.
lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be.
But
the
I
answer.
surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for Thanksgiving, or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place to go.
Aw, I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over. You have to bring
I was
a dish.
hoping I was going to call you to say, "Are you bringing a coconut cream pie?" When you did the interview with Sandra Bullock, I was like, "Do I get a coconut cream
And
pie?"
did you see? I don't know where they got it, but it was the worst looking coconut cream pie. It was sliding around inside the pan.
So you didn't actually make.
Wow.
Oh, and
What a
that
spirit.
was the first time. That was from the first show, and a couple of comments there that I wanted to highlight. One was, thank you, Sharon Pierre Lewis, for doing the American Sign Language. It's a special part of my show. Woke up one day when Nelson Mandela had passed, and at his service, there was someone who was not really a sign language interpreter, but it gave me the idea to bring one on to the show so that it was the first radio for our deaf community. So thank you, Sharon, for that. And that's why you saw the signing in the third.
It's a great idea. Great idea.
And then, she wasn't kidding, Doug. Like, she collected me. And this is, She did not have family. Her friends were her family. And I'm so blessed to have gone to her house to play poker, to gone to the horse races, and I met Gilligan's son there, and she has, some close friends, and I promised I wasn't going to cry, but the level of her heart and the openness of her heart, there wasn't one. I know you always say this stuff when someone passes, but it's so true. I haven't. She was just so big-hearted. I miss her, and I will miss her. But I know she's not. I know she's with my dad right now, and they're playing poker.
Right. One of my favorite sayings is that blood is thicker than water, and most people think that means the blood that runs through your vein that you share with your siblings is thicker than water, but that's not what it means. It means that the blood that's usually taken in a covenant, whether it be the love that you share with someone who's not genetically related, is thicker than sometimes than the water you share at birth with your natural family. And it sounds like that's what she participated in, that type of basic attraction to people, that family, that spirit family.
Absolutely.
Yes, your book is called What Would Marianne Do?
A Guide to Life, What Would Marianne Do? And it's not a goody two-shoes book, but when we went on the island, birth control wasn't even invented, the pill, okay? Well, half the people never got pregnant. I mean, never went to bed with somebody afraid of getting pregnant. Now, this hooking up is really something. Nobody worries about that anymore at all. Right. And now you drop Marianne back here. And what has happened in civilization, the real nitty-gritty, the real works of people are still the same. Morality is still the same. Kindness, manners, working hard, caring about what you're doing, love your neighbors, so to speak. But we don't talk about that.
Right. Yeah,
it's not in front of us all the time.
That's why there's a rule: no K words on this show. We don't talk about the Kardashians.
Shh! I didn't mean that. I think I was talking about the Smiths. I think.
No, but I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely want. It's not that we want to go to the Dark Ages, but we certainly want to retain and bring back those things that really made us feel good about ourselves. Because you turn the TV on now, the things that we see, I've been told, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith calls it media the weapon of mass distraction. And if you look at TV and reality shows or any kind of shows, they are founded on what is wrong or what is the worst part of humanity.
That's
what
we look for.
The stealing, the corruption, the raping, the killing, the bullying. We said at the same time.
Yes.
Woo!
A little kid who doesn't know anything is just destroyed by some of the little cliques and things. Yes.
Right. So when first of all, I have to say, are you a good girl?
I'm a good girl.
Okay. I have to qualify
and
that.
Exactly what does that description mean?
Why be good when bad is better, right?
No,
but let's look at this contrast. So today, then you were the first one that wore short shorts
ever on TV.
So what would you wish for yourself first, for the next however many years on this side?
For good health and a good mind.
Good health and a good mind.
I would hate to be losing my mind. Good health, a good mind.
And then what would you wish for, let's say, everyone on the planet? What are some specific wishes that you would have?
I would say slow down and smell the roses. Don't run so fast through it all, because where did 50 years go for me? 50 years since Gilligan's Island, it was yesterday to me. So slow down and smell those roses, and slow down and appreciate, like you say, you have a gratitude every morning. I do it before I go to sleep. What was the best thing about my day? What things could I have improved? What am I going to do tomorrow?
Good. Yeah.
I do that always. I'm always thinking ahead, but maybe sometimes you don't feel good, and sometimes you can't walk, and sometimes the Alzheimer's would be the toughest, but then you don't know. It's your family that suffers.
Right.
So I just say do the best you can. Look at treat other people the way you want to be treated. Listen. Be gracious. Who are you? What am I doing here? Is this Hollywood? Oh, that's what I heard so much about this place.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist. That's beautiful. Now, my daughters and I also go through a peak and a pit at the end of the day. What was your peak and what was your pit?
Oh, that's good.
So that's I'm following you. I'm following you.
I live alone. I have
can-
nobody to talk it over with. I'm going to call you up and say, this day, I tell you, I had a terrible day today.
No, it is. It's so important, and you have people in your life that love you. You have a lot of people in your life that love you that you don't even realize. I think.
No, I know.
that
I know.
that love
I'm
you.
blessed.
That you feel it. Where can we get your book?
You can get your book my website, dawnwells.com. I'll
Dawn
personalize
Wells.
it for you if you want.
That's
or
beautiful.
Barnes & Noble. I'm doing a book signing at Romans, and I'm doing a book signing. I think Romans is my next.
Okay, so dawnwells.com, double L, one S, and you can sign up.
You can just go on
there.
and order a book, and I'll personalize it, or you can just go to your bookstore.
Great gift idea for the coming holidays. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And I will personally buy a book and then give it away as my Asian.
Why didn't I bring
Oprah.
one?
I don't know.
Well,
I guess I should have asked
should have.
Harlan to. That's okay.
No, I would have
That's
normally.
okay.
It was pouring rain, and I was late. So
Yeah, well, this weather is
it's my excuse.
wonderful.
I'll get you one.
Oh, thank you.
You have to
Thank you.
keep
That
it for
would be-
yourself, though.
I will keep it for myself, and I will buy another one to give away for the show. How's that?
I may give you two. Hey, we got something going here.
That's wonderful.
Sure.
So, what?
She loved that applause, so I thought I would give her her final word applause and a standing ovation. And here's that book that she gave me that I will treasure and forever.
Wow.
And the cool thing is, it has pictures that aren't normally available. And I talked to Leonard, her manager, and yes, the book is still being sold. Obviously, you can't get personalized like I did, but it is the proceeds, part proceeds, and if you want to donate directly, the family's asking for you to donate to the elephant sanctuary that she has been involved with and got an award from as well. So all that you can find at www.dawnwells.com. And I just know this is a woman that left a legacy. This is a woman who really, the sad part. The sad part is the one thing that she really wanted that I couldn't. She didn't have children, and she would have been an amazing mom. And she loved her mom, and we didn't have time to show the clip on the unconditional love that she got from her parents. But her, she wanted to hold preemie babies. There's a program, and I tried to get her in. And that's my one regret. Is I was not able to get her in to do that because she really wanted to. And the other regret is I did a best of, 8 years. And I finished the night before she passed. And I was, the voice said, text her and tell her, and I didn't. And the next morning is when I found out. So those are the two. I don't live with a lot of regrets, but I just know that she's going to get to do that where she is now, and that I love you so much, Dawn, and thank you so much for taking me as your orphan. And may your spirit of goodness and love and kindness just live beyond. And I'm so grateful that you are in my life. Sheshe.
Sheshe. Doctor, can I say something to you?
Okay.
The friends you have are a reflection of the spirit that's inside of you, and you're blessed to have this great friend. But I've seen you interact with people that are your friends, and I've seen you be that same type of endearing person. So I guess the old adage, water finds its own level. You find your spiritual friend mate, soulmate, whatever. She represents the same loving spirit that's inside you, and I'm happy to get to know you and call you a friend. You're awesome. And thank you for inviting me in on this special show.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, watching the first one was the one that we did the deaf radio for our deaf community.
Uh-huh.
And when I reviewed all the shows, I was we were just as comfortable in that first show the very first time I met her, that as we continued on, it was just really uncanny that it's true. I think you meet, if you're feeling, okay, here's the lesson. If you're feeling right now really closed off because of what's happening with the pandemic, and you feel like you're isolated or you're alone and nobody really gives a flying fork through a rolling donut about you, that's BS. That's a belief system that will keep you down. So your homework, your Get Balanced homework, or your Happy 88 homework, is to reach out and connect with someone. You know, just that is what's going to get us through the rest of this pandemic, is if we reach out and we let people know that we love them, even if they don't love us. Yes, because, you know, you just never know. And I think it's apropos. I met you on Catalina Island, like by accident. I was teaching a Tai Chi class, and Doug, his shy self, as you can tell, Doug is a shy self. Yeah. Said, can I join in? And that's how that is. So what strikes you the most, or what do you want to remember from getting to know Dawn today, as, you know, to bring her spirit with you?
You know what I loved is that she referred to her character as Marianne. She never did I. She had a humility that seemed to accompany her success and her notoriety. She seemed to be very, a word that you use a lot, balanced with that. Mm-hmm. That she enjoyed what she did, but it wasn't all of who she was. And I love that humility, that balance. That I love that. That's human. I love that.
Beautiful. Great takeaway. And I still don't know why we're getting that deep reverb in the back. I'm going to get yelled at by my sound engineer at KCAA, but we'll there's something in there. But anyways, thank you so much, Doug, for joining me and letting me use you as a shell for this show, and getting to know you a little more again on the air. And thank you so much. And I literally have 1 minute to invite you to step up to my balance bar, which is how you can interact and be part of my Happy 88 tribe. There's the bell. I have 1 minute, and that is 21-day fast from complaining. Starts February 1st.
Right on.
Your money where your complaint is $21. That's all you have to pay and register online. Can you mute, Doug? Thanks. 21-day fast from complaining, and the proceeds go to my new nonprofit, 8 Ways to Happiness. And if you do 21 consecutive days without complaining, then you will get double your money back. So I want you to join for that. February 1st, we had the first male winner, Uwe Freyer, for that as well. My Monday broadcasts, Mind Your Own Business with Dr. Marissa. That's 10 at Facebook, 10:30 on Instagram. Please subscribe for free on my YouTube channel. You'll also get the red carpet interviews with Halle Berry and John Travolta. So there's lots there just for your free listening pleasure. Thank you so much for continuing to keep it here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get happy with Dr. Marissa. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it. Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.